Some kind of bear.
Yeah, some kind of bear.
Go ahead.
No, like I've never really had a problem with that kind of thing before. Like I have a lot of friends that are athletes, but they've never taken it to that level. They understand, they respect what I do, and they respect me as a person.
I'd be excited if Brett Favre sent me a photo of his junk.
Yeah, I know you would be.
That would make me want to call up the 40-year-old virgin quote. You know how I know you're a gay?
Obviously, whoever sent you the photo, were there other text messages prior to that and post
no,
that?
it was very isolated.
It was very isolated. But that just came out of the blue?
Yeah.
That came out of the blue.
What's that? The junk photo?
Yeah.
Well, she said no to every other advance. You get desperate. Well, you said no to my phone calls. You said no to my text messages.
Is that the go-to move for you guys?
You send the junk. And you send it with this message. Look what you do to me. Bang, Anthony Weiner. That's exactly what happened.
Well, that's Anthony Weiner. That's a whole different story.
Every guy's the same. Come on.
I figured as you get older, your tact gets a little bit better.
No, you get older, you get more desperate. You start sending text messages because you're like, I may never get a girl ever again. And you look like his wife a little bit, so I understand why he was into you.
Yeah, I've been told.
Yeah, you can see that, obviously, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if we're all just brunettes and have similar facial features.
No, you look a lot like Dina Favre, 100%. You're like a body. I don't know about a body double, but Deanna Favre. You look like her a lot, so he obviously likes that type.
So, so how was the whole thing with the NFL though? Was that something that was
interesting? You asked that. Yeah,
okay.
I have the utmost respect for the way they handled the situation as far as in their dealings with me anyway.
Right.
The way they spoke to me, the way I got to meet Roger Goodell,
right.
And he really did take a personal interest in it. And the thing that really struck home with him was that he has a daughter. And I asked him, and I ask anyone that has a daughter, what would you have told your daughter to do in this situation? I didn't even confide in my parents when this happened.
Well, that was mistake number one, right?
What would you? Well, I don't know. My dad would have gone postal.
Right.
But
well, you tell your dad right away, the whole story is different. Because your dad, if nothing else, being a protective father, would have been on the phone on your behalf to the New York Jets in that moment.
What do you do if your daughter comes to you way after the fact and was like, look,
well, like I always tell I'll tell you what I always tell my daughter, and she's 19 years old and she's great and she thinks she owns the world.
And I'm sure she's beautiful.
And she is, and she has all that old deal. She understands all of it. But I always tell her, I said, Dad is always here unconditionally for you. That's what your parents are on this earth for.
Here's the one problem with that.
We'll always support you. That's why you should always come to us before something gets out of hand if you possibly can.
My parents, they're so far removed from my industry, and they don't really get it. And
well, I'm sure they weren't too happy when you told them that you were doing Playboy.
Right, that's the point. You did Playboy and Maxim.
My parents were really supportive, to be honest.
Well, that's what parents do, but
I was an adult, so I shot it.
You did Playboy, though.
I was 21.
I'm just saying,
I showed a boob.
No, I get it. You did Playboy, Maxim. You were
and some side boob.
I don't want to be confrontational.
You know what I mean?
Again,
everybody loves little side boobs.
Sure, your dad had a deal years ago with the fact that his daughter was selling sex appeal. I hate to say this because it's a terrible thing to say.
Everything that
at some point, what do you expect? You expect guys not to buy into that?
No,
you're not that naive.
He knows the kind of person I really am.
It's not about you.
That meet me.
It's about the fact that why are we shocked that a football player wanted to sleep with you? You were selling sex. He bought it.
Because I think there's some level of professionalism that's expected in the workplace.
Do you think from football players? Any mind?
It should be across all boards. It should be across all boards.
Right.
I'm sorry. You can't speak for all football players when you said
they're a bunch of animals.
Because you have such a lucrative career in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm an animal. By the way, check your text message.
Listen, cheerleaders next to football players. We're shocked that the guys want to bang them.
You can't lump everyone in together. I think you can say that.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this, though. Did you think that the NFL took it seriously?
I did.
And what was your goal? Was that? I assume Phil Reese was behind all that. I know you're in a lawsuit with him.
My goal, I was a witness to them. That's it. I was a witness to them.
So
there was no end goal.
They wanted
any messages that were put out last fall, Carton, I had nothing to do with.
So they wanted to interview you as a character witness in what Brett allegedly did.
Yeah.
And they decided.
And I cooperated with them. That is all they asked of me. And all I asked, I said, look, if I cooperate, I just want you to let people know that I didn't do anything wrong. That was all I asked.
And how did the New York Jets handle all this stuff? Are you okay with the Jets?
Never. I have no bad blood with the Jets.
Right.
I have no bad blood with their fans.
You came on our show 2 years ago and said you loved your experience with Woody Johnson. Loved it.
I think Woody is a great owner. I stand by that till this day. And I think every job that I've ever had